laws don't constrain the human heart. I think that the Bible makes that really clear. Laws show us just how dark and evil. They don't fix the problem. They expose the problem. But that's probably not the way most people think of them.
Hey, welcome back to Real Talk. Thanks for hanging out with us. He's Joe. I'm Brad. Season 5. You ready?
5 seasons of nothingness.
Of nothing.
Yes.
Producer Mikkel, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right.
What about the camera crew?
Camera crew, you ready?
Ready.
They're ready.
Ready?
Hey, subscribe to our channel, like, comment on our videos. You know, join the movement. Let's go.
Real Talk movement. Hashtag
Yeah.
Real Talk.
Are you ready? We haven't done this in a while.
No, I'm out of practice.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what.
I'm gonna ease you in
Okay.
real fast. I picked up something in sort of the off season because, you know, a lot of people.
You're setting me up to do something.
No, a lot of people, you know, have commented, including our own crew here, have commented that we spend a lot of time working on our eyebrows before we, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know this. You could get eyebrow gel.
Really?
Look at this. You could comb comb your brows there. Like gel them.
Is that gel for
That's
them?
for you. I got that
Does
for
it
you.
actually have gel in it?
Yes.
Like right now I'm gelling my
Yeah.
eyebrows? Awesome.
I got that for you.
Do you have a mirror for me?
You don't need one. They're great.
So this is helpful.
But I thought that would help. We could
This
just
is-
keep that on the set.
This is a brow gel. It's
Yeah.
clear. That's good to know.
Right.
Does it work for other parts of my...
Okay,
Follicles?
so season 5. Here we go.
Okay, let's wait.
We're going to talk about today, so sort of, oh yeah, have a cookie. We have a lot of cookies on set this year.
I don't know.
No
but
more
if I-
nuts. We've
if
got
I-
cookies.
I know. This is problematic because I think when you eat an Oreo, it gets on your lips. And it's like,
It's everywhere. It's in your teeth.
I'm
But
very-
you like
I'm
savory,
very-
so you're not as tempted.
but if you put food in front of me, look at this. Does it look like I ever say no to food? And you put it right there and I'm nervous? You people make me nervous. My eyebrows, are they gelled right? Okay,
they're
go.
great.
Go.
Okay, so we're talking culture meets politics meets Bible today, okay? Little bit of
Culture
everything.
meets politics meets Bible.
So something that I'm hearing all the time, because we're in a little bit of a political season. By the way, stop sending paper ads in the mail. It's like 1988.
And-
Dukakis is running for something. And they're sending me a flyer.
And what about the
Stop.
people that are all about green everything and they're filling my inbox, my email?
Oh, good point.
You're so green.
Stop with the flyers. Anyways, a lot of politics, culture stuff right now. And one thing that I keep hearing, and this is from sort of all spectrums, both sides of the political aisle. You can be Republican, Democrat, blue, red, magenta, whatever you are, right? Like lots of different sides, but are saying things about we need more laws.
A new law requires anyone selling a house to disclose whether the property has internet service.
Congress passing the biggest changes to our nation's gun laws in nearly 30 years.
Also in Kentucky, we could get a ruling as soon as tomorrow on whether or not there will be a temporary hold on that state's trigger law. It is very confusing.
Sure is right.
Track with me for a second, right?
We need more
so
laws.
just in current climate right now, you will hear some people saying, we need laws against abortion. You'll hear other people saying, we need laws to protect abortion. You hear, we need laws for immigration. Others saying to protect immigration. We need gun laws, gun control laws. No, we need gun rights laws. And everybody's like, laws.
Gender, sexuality laws.
Yes, everybody wants laws. Here's my sort of, I'll submit this to you.
Ooh.
I think that for the most part, laws are basically useless. Okay?
Keep going.
Keep going.
I
Here we go,
have
right?
things to say.
Right? And I will say, a lot of people will go, well, we need to enforce the laws.
Oh.
Right? That's another argument you
Yeah.
hear.
If we just enforce it,
Yes.
then the laws would be
But
useful.
my argument is, we actually don't need more laws. Laws don't do anything. And here's how I can prove it. There's actually 10 laws. And we didn't follow those at all. And here's how simple they were. Ready? Don't murder anyone. Don't steal from people. Don't commit adultery. Don't lie. Okay, God gave us 10 laws. We couldn't even keep 10. The 10 most basic laws you could possibly imagine.
And we took them out of schools.
Oh, jeez.
if we would only have them in the schools,
That would probably solve
everything would be okay.
But we want laws, and yet I'm like, you couldn't even keep 10.
Wow.
And you want more laws. It is such human nature to create laws, right? And we see that even in the Bible, like Pharisees have 600 plus whatever laws. But I'm going, laws, what do you want laws for? You couldn't even keep the basic ones. The ones that were good for you, to protect you, that were the God of all things says just follow these 10 things.
Simple.
And life will go good for you. And we're like, nah, we don't want those. But now we want laws?
How many laws do we have
So
now?
just take that.
I mean, I think
Oh, laws?
how many laws are on the books in America?
I have no
Between
idea.
laws and torts and
I have
all
no
kinds
idea.
of
I'm
regulations.
sure thousands and thousands and thousands.
I mean, what's the IRS tax code?
It's lengthy. Tens of thousands of pages.
I know. And people still cheat on their taxes?
Right.
And people still get away with or get around the law and they have to add more laws. I think that's the basic nature of it. It's like, if you tell me a law, I'm going to do everything up to the law and I'm going to figure out a way around it.
That's good.
Right? So it's like, yeah, I don't think the solution is laws. The 10 that God gave us, if we would just keep those 10, would we not have problems?
Right.
Is that, I mean, like,
That's true. Like, the entire reason that Jesus has to come is because we can't keep 10 laws.
and the time,
And they're so basic. Hey, you know what? Don't kill each other. We're going to kind of make up our own way.
what about the Sabbath? If we would just keep that, would we have peace in our country?
Oh, well, it would certainly be a step in a good direction.
Just rest. Everybody gets a day of rest. If everybody got a day of rest, everything would be okay.
But they seem so basic. Honestly, though, we couldn't even keep 10.
Well, what are you asking?
I don't know.
If this would fix the problems, if we just
I'm
had
just saying
more
we hear
laws?
so much about
Yeah.
laws and laws and laws, and I'm just contending that laws don't make any difference. That really what is at the core of it is values matter more than laws.
So what is the purpose of a law?
Well, it's stated that the purpose of a law is to protect a society. That's typically how we need a law because it protects people.
Is that true? No.
It could be true.
Is that the purpose of God's law?
It's part of the purpose of God's law.
Interesting. Well, I think the premise, I agree with you, and you are delightfully, if our audience didn't know this, you are a hardcore libertarian. So I am not surprised that my friend Brad is like, laws don't work. And I think I would say part of the reason you believe that is because of what you understand theologically.
Yeah.
So it isn't just like you're a libertarian. But the premise that a law is going to control people and protect people simply by just having it's just not true, right? So it's like it doesn't work because our human hearts just want to rebel against any law. So if you tell me this is the rule, my personality is I'm a rebel, you're something else. But if you tell me not to do something, it's exactly the thing I want to do the most. So it doesn't restrain, and people have a way of finding their way around. It's like, if you put this obstacle in front of me, I'm going to figure out a way of going around it. And I think theologically understood, it's like the law just shows us how bad we are. When you draw a line in the sand, it shows me I want to cross that line. I want to go around the line. I want to go under the line. And even if I do not cross it, it's not because my heart doesn't want to. It's because some of the people out there, neither of us, are rule followers.
Absolutely.
Like, there are people that are just,
There are.
that by nature, they just follow
They are rule
rules.
followers,
That's
yes.
neither of us, let's be clear.
Yes.
But like, there's very few people that the rule is what actually constrains them from doing what they want to do.
Even people that are rule followers, though, they tend to be rule followers to a point.
And then,
And then, like all of us, they do whatever they want. Right? Like, in such a simple, stupid way. You drive down the road every day. You drive down the road to work, to home, whatever. And there's a number on a sign that tells you this is how fast you go. And there's a sense of like, okay, that's a guideline. And there's also a sense of like, I'm giving that thing the bird and driving whatever speed I want to drive because I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Yeah. It's like, that's a value thing more than a law thing. Mm-hmm. Like, my value is I want to get to where I'm going safely. Mm-hmm. I want to protect myself and the people around me. And I'm going to do what I know to be right to protect that value. I don't really care what the speed limit sign says. True?
yes, especially for you.
But for lots of people. But for a lot of people,
Yeah.
in fact, that's
No,
an
I don't
example
even-
that
I
probably
mean,
for most people.
I couldn't even tell you what the speed limit is on most of the way. I go with the flow, right? So with the speed limit, it's like I go with the flow, and then I see a cop and I stop, right? Like that's more what the way that law works.
Right.
So what does that say about the human heart? I mean, I think of some of the rules and laws you just talked about with our society. If we had more laws, would that stop violence?
That's where.
If
that's
we
the
had
question.
laws for or against abortion, would it stop abortion? I mean, this isn't the human nature is we're going to figure out what we want to do, and we're going to figure out how we want to do it, and we're going to do what we want. So even back to your point of we couldn't even follow the 10, it's like we want to commit adultery. That's why we commit adultery. We want to murder someone. That's why we murder someone.
Yep.
If you put in laws,
Yep.
it's not going to stop it. So what does that say about the human heart? And again, go back to what's the purpose and point of a law? I don't know. I think it exposes just how whack we all are,
Yeah.
right? It's like and we need them. So I don't think either of us are sitting here going, we don't want laws in our society.
No.
It's like, right. So it's like, no, I think having laws in our society is essential. We need it. But more? What kind of
Well,
laws? What?
And again, I'm not going to say there's anything that are like the right laws, but there's a values thing in play here. Because let's just take the abortion one. You mentioned that. Let's just take that. It's like the people who are who want laws to stop abortion. Those people would say this is an issue. This is a value of human life issue. The people who want rights, they would call reproductive rights or rights for abortion, would say this is about valuing the birth mother, right? And so it's like it's about values more than it is about laws. And either way, we're basing the rules that we want, what we think would be the right laws, on our value system.
So yeah, that's good because like even someone who murders, I think there's a couple societies in the world that don't have laws about murders because they don't value. I guess they value
Human.
power.
Yeah.
It's like their value is more about power, and you
Than
get to
life, yeah.
stomp on whatever life you want in order to, right? So yeah, that's interesting because even like think about war and the Geneva Convention. It's like we have these global rules, laws about how to do war.
Okay.
I mean, how fascinating is that?
Yeah,
like
right.
we have this law
Right.
that says don't kill, and now the Geneva Convention comes in and says no, we're going to have guidelines about how you do war, and even your value system about life drives whether people follow
Follow
the
that,
Geneva Convention
Or just do what
or
they
just
want.
go, I'm going to do what we want, and even down to the individual soldier. Right? Like there's stories all over the place about even if as Americans we value the Geneva Convention, the individual soldier goes, I got to protect myself or I don't really care. And then they get brought up on charges because they just annihilated a bunch of people
Sure.
for no reason.
Right.
Laws don't constrain the human heart. I think that the Bible makes that really clear. Laws show us just how dark and evil. They don't fix the problem. They expose the problem. But that's probably not the way most people think about them. Think about dieting.
Oh, okay.
So if we decide to make a diet, does that help or hinder you from gaining or losing weight?
It could be a tool that helps you.
Right? It could be, but it isn't a guarantee.
No.
Some people
Correct.
are looking at
These are
laws
pretty good.
as if it's a guarantee.
Oh,
That's a very short-sighted view of a law, that it's a guarantee of anything, except exposing the problem. I guarantee you with any law, you will expose a problem.
okay. Case in point. Let's just grab any of those categories. Let's say guns, right? You could outlaw guns. Someone's still going to find a gun and use it.
Brad,
That's the point I'm
I
making.
can. That is. Do you mean?
I heard someone say that. It's not
Do you
from me. I
mean-
heard someone say that one time.
You mean there's people that aren't going to follow the law? They're going to buy guns anyway?
That's what you're saying.
I am. I think it's going to expose the problem. And if you outlawed guns, they'd find another way to slash you and kill you, and right, like that's not going to constrain. It exposes. So in that, what can we learn about people's desire for laws? They're trying to expose a problem.
Yes. Yes, I think this is so good because at the core of why, go back to the Ten Commandments, God's laws, right? At the core of, he's giving those to us actually to help us. See, we want laws. We actually want guidance. We want, our soul longs for instruction and leadership, and God offers it. You know, we've rejected it, but it does actually reveal that we want that.
Yeah. No, it's good. And we need it, right? Because if
Right.
I'd left to my own
Sure.
devices, like if we just all just do whatever the heck is right, it's chaos. So as you might be thinking that we're hating laws. We're not hating laws. We're exposing like what is it that it does. And in this current American political climate, are laws going to fix the problems we have in America today? I mean, what's the point? The point is actually, I don't know. I actually think anarchy would be a better solution than what we're currently
I do
doing.
too. It'd work itself out.
You want it would absolutely work itself out. Like I think about it with parenting my teenagers. If I think that more laws and more guidance as they get into 16 and 18 and 20 years old is actually going to solve the problem, no. Actually, what has to happen is I have to have less and less guidance and less control over them, and it will work itself out, where they're either going to decide to do something right or they're going to decide to do something wrong and live with the consequences of it.
I think biblically I can prove that's true too, because how many laws did the Pharisees come up with? 630 some. How many did God need? 10. It's like peel it back. Don't like he just peeled it back to the basics.
Yep. So practically speaking, actually, in your home life, in your life in general, less law, the right law, and more values and what you value actually helps people thrive.
And that was really my whole thinking in this. Is I keep hearing about laws and laws and laws, and I'm just going, man, check your values. You know, what are your beliefs and values that are driving these things, not just more laws. And I think there are, on both sides of the aisle, people who are pinning their hopes on if we just had this law, it will solve everything. It's like, no.
If we put the 10 Commandments and prayer back in school, we're not going to fix everything?
I don't think so.
It's not, because it doesn't change someone's heart.
Right.
That's good.
Good. Season 5 is underway.
I know. I'm concerned about eating one of these because of what it does to the rest of me.
I believe the phrase that you often use is moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips.
Have you ever? Why didn't they make us double stuff?
This would be good. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you next time on Real Talk.